Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and also YouTube, and we would love for you to check out our podcast. Just search Tom and Dan Live on either.
Ross McCoy's here. How you doing, Ross?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, good to see you, man. How are you?
I just switched over from 104.1 HD3, The Pirate, to listen to this.
I very much enjoy The Pirate.
I love
good.
The Pirate,
It's
dude.
all the sea shanties, right, now?
No, it's like a Jimmy Buffett themed station.
Okay.
That,
all right.
that
We
do here at 104.1.
The Pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Huge thank you to Jeff's Bagel Run for
man.
bringing by some bagels this morning, some coffee.
Don't sleep on the coffee.
They got some new holiday flavors.
Yeah. I am actually having a hot blueberry frosted latte right now, and it is very, very good. This is good. It's also very strong.
Having myself a peppermint mocha, delicious. And Daniel's right. They have really good lids at Jeff's Bagel Run.
Yeah, like it's something that I feel like, I know that sounds
ridiculous.
crazy. Right, okay. All right, let's talk about that for a second. I know it sounds crazy, but Jeff's actually spends money on their lids, and it comes with what can only be described as a $12 lid. It's a two-part $12 lid. The top comes apart. Like, you could actually wash this and reuse it. It's as quality as Tupperware.
Yeah. My wife will be putting that in the dishwasher.
Oh, absolutely. If you were an Italian grandma, you would save this. There's no way this is getting thrown away. But Jeff's Bagel Run has the nicest coffee lids of any coffee lid I've ever used. It's a two-part system.
You were sleeping on the cup.
Yeah. Oh, the cups.
Because what's the bane of any coffee cup, Tom? It's that stupid sleeve that makes your cup slip
Coffee
around.
condom.
And
It's a coffee condom.
It's built in on this Jeff's Bagel Run
Yeah,
cup.
everybody knows that
built
coffee
right in.
feels different when you're using a coffee condom.
And, of course, Jeff's Bagel Run has the best spreads in the business.
They do.
Made fresh daily with fresh ingredients. And I love all their different spreads. But I'm eating a plain bagel with regular spread.
It's good. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah,
the standard.
Yeah.
I'm having the standard. They get
You know
the
what I call
holiday
that?
spreads.
That's called a Monday. I'm having the Monday. The Monday is the plain with plain.
Dan, I think you would agree, though, that you're going to want to use the coffee sleeve if you're going to put cream in your coffee.
That's true. Absolutely. You should. And again, try these new holiday flavors.
And that banana bread spread they have with the banana bagel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's the.
it might as well be cake at
The
some
bagel
point.
and banana.
ridiculous.
I believe the banana bread is the bagel of the day. I think that's the bagel of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So anyway, there's got to be a Jeff's Bagel Run somewhere near you. Get the app. It tells you real time what's in store. My family uses it all the time. We were there this weekend. Shout outs and love to our good friends and sponsor, Jeff's Bagel Run.
The spread used to be the draw at that other bagel place. I'll just call them Oppenheimer's Bagels. Like if you go to, and they have really lost their spread game. Like I got some jalapeno spread from them the other day,
You want
and
the fresh.
it was basically plastic wrap. I think
You want the
fresh.
fresh in-house mixed. That's what you and get
for
the
sure.
hot sauce.
Get that hot sauce.
The
spread.
hot
It's
sauce,
delicious.
my daughter's favorite cream cheese of all time is hot sauce cream cheese.
Also, only I think less than 50 tickets left to the Grant Britton Tony Hawk conversation happening this Thursday at the Orlando Museum of Art.
Yes.
They have a small little auditorium inside the museum, and that's where Tony Hawk's going to be talking to Grant Britton.
He's actually there right now being held hostage.
me and
He's been
Dan
there
are
for
gonna be there.
weeks.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he's in a jail cell there.
But if you wanted your chance to see Tony Hawk, maybe after they do a Q&A after.
Did you ask if we can get things signed? Because I did get our skateboard delivered.
Well, we purchased the VIP meet and greet
yeah.
when they came out.
Yeah.
Because we were,
Yeah.
even though we do have media pass, we're like, I don't know if that's part of the meet and greet.
No.
That's a special.
You don't want to assume. I'm not. I don't assume.
And so we're like, we're not gonna pass up on the meet and greet. And then we had to get one for Tony Munjet.
We did.
But so
I
don't.
could have bought his own. It seems like.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
People love photography.
I
Looks
feel
like
like
it's booming to me.
he wouldn't. Also, Ross, we're like, hey, if we buy him these tickets,
Yeah, he's in.
then he'll probably do something for free for
Exactly.
us that would be more expensive than
Exactly.
tickets in the future.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
true.
a Deanne way to think?
I mean, maybe considering I'm going to see Baby Metal with Ross tomorrow
I'm so
night, so
excited.
what you're almost like seeding it as if to say that I invited Ross because I wanted to, get something out of it,
And also
which-
going with us, Tony.
Yeah, and also going with us to Wade. So we are giving him the double deuce, right? We're giving him Baby Metal one night. We're giving him Tony Hawk. I mean, this guy really is, not you, present company excluded, but Tony Munjet is indebted to us pretty heavily.
Yeah, we better get a lot of pictures
Of his wife.
Who
I
wants
want
the
pictures of his wife.
All right.
Is it true that Tony Hawk's going to grind that Cholula glass in the front hallway?
That's what I heard.
So where do you guys want to start? Do you want to talk about the imposter vacation that I came up with? Idea?
Well, we could like really ease out on Halloween, and I could tell you how my wife is Disney and flipped all her decorations in one night.
Have we ever done Confrontation of the Week on ACT?
No,
hold on a
do
second.
that.
We may have just been trumped.
Well, let's talk about of course, November 1st was Friday.
Yes,
and some people use this opportunity, the beginning of November, to go full Christmas. And I've been yelling
Never
at Daniel.
Go full Christmas. Never go full Christmas.
And Daniel's been doing this for a little bit. He's been I remember when you started the week before Thanksgiving, and it seems like you've been nudging it back.
I have been nudging it back.
I
have been nudging it back.
And I think November 1st is the absolute first day you could go into
It's the Disney
Christmas
style, yeah. It's the way that the theme parks here in town flip their decorations. You flip overnight. At midnight, you go from Jack Skellington's Halloween Wonderland, Santa's Workshop.
Now, they're doing it for the money.
You're right.
I mean, you guys are
brain
doing
hack. It's a brain hack. It makes us happy.
For the joy of Christmas.
Yeah, for the joy of Christmas.
But everybody does it now. Like, I was at the store yesterday, and the lady was putting out a pack of, I think, peppermint, like, cupcakes or something. And then she looked me in the eye, and she went, I miss pumpkin season. So like everybody
that lady needed help.
Yeah, no, she definitely. I don't know what was wrong with her.
Oh my God, that was a cry for help. That's the saddest thing I've ever. So I mean, look, I'm not doing it to try and steal anybody's pumpkin season, but I will say, and Tom is correct. You got to call it, when you are correct. I don't think we were doing it.
Pumpkin used to go into Thanksgiving.
Yes, I don't think we were doing this consciously. I will put the majority of the blame on my wife. This is something that her and my daughter wanted to do. I'm not anti it. I did tell them I wanted to watch football, so I had no part in it. Well, hold on. I did help them get the Christmas trees out. So I did some lifting.
So you walk into the dentist's house and it's full on winter wonderland in there.
Christmas
tree.
It's Disney. It's Disneyfied. The snow. There's snow. And there's smoke. That's me. But it's snow everywhere. The music is playing. Maisie had on. She goes to bed every night playing instrumental Christmas sleep.
All right.
My only word is
she's like, Alexa, play instrumental Christmas sleep. And it starts playing and she goes to sleep with it. Christmas jammies.
So you're getting 2 months of the whole year of Christmas.
Her Christmas tree is up in her room. She has a Christmas tree up in her room. They put up the big Christmas tree, no decorations, just the tree is up. And then they did the auxiliary tree for what I like to call the silly decorations, because I'm so OCD. I can't have beautiful, like, handmade Mall of Millennia decorations on one tree and then have some garbage that Maisie made that's crap on the same tree. It's got to be on a completely separate goof tree. So we have a goof tree and we have an elegant tree.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to have an elegant tree.
Is this a slippery slope? And let me explain.
No, he's slipped to the bottom. The slope is way above him.
So, and what I mean by this is this is how
Santa Claus puts his boot right on my head like Ralphie and just pushes it
right down the slide, baby.
All the way down.
This is how most people become alcoholics, okay? They tell themselves, like, I'm just going to drink on the weekend.
Well, I thought we were talking about Christmas.
Right?
I am an alcoholic.
Well, most people, they're
I
like,
got news for you. You killed a handle at Christmas this weekend.
you start drinking on Saturday.
Hey, it's just a little Christmas and soda.
Then you drink, you're like, well, Friday after work is technically the weekend. So it's after work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Did you put Christmas in your coffee, Dan?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Friday, we were I'm usually here and I tidy up the show and then I get out best of show and then I get out regular show, turn everything off. While I was here, after you left, I did put on Sirius XM Holiday Traditions.
I had a fucking candy cane.
You're fine. You're fine. We're having fun.
It's a Christmas spirit.
Yeah, it's all a
I was
good
possessed
spirit.
by the Christmas spirit.
But no, I put on Sirius XM's Holiday Traditions. It's their main channel. The other channel's called Holly.
See, the problem with doing this, just like the problem with being an alcoholic, is the next thing you know, you're drinking in the mornings, and you're shaking.
Oh, we had on Christmas music this morning. We had on Christmas music this morning, and Maisie was in Christmas pajamas.
And then to what end?
Yeah.
And then if you don't make Christmas just in December, then it's now might as well keep it going.
Put
after,
a wreath out for July 4th.
Yeah. Made it this July.
I know.
Then you're
Maisie
all,
was
all
begging
year
for
long.
her elf, dude. She was. By the way, I'm in a bit of a predicament because she's still 100%. I mean, she is very mature in certain areas. I will tread lightly, but they're like this thing is full on. We're still in. We're still in. If you're picking up what I'm laying down.
Yeah.
And she was begging for that elf this morning, and I'm like, oh God, this is what have we done?
Wait, this
What
is
have
2
we
months
done?
of the
It is-
elf?
Yeah. No. He comes Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving. He comes.
I mean, she's got to be confused because she's like, it's Christmas now.
Wait a minute, she comes. It's a girl elf that looks exactly like Jennifer Lopez.
Here's the problem though. I understand what you're saying, Tom. Is that like 1/6 of the year devoted to Christmas does seem excessive?
Yeah.
But
It's an election year and it's gonna be bad. So I'm just trying to like distract myself with fun.
she's gonna be into like the next Insane Clown Posse next year and like want nothing to do with Christmas. Like at some point, it's over. So enjoy while you can.
That is true.
We've
You
got the
only
chat
get
room.
a small amount of time.
We've got the
with
chat
kids, but
room weighing in.
While Maisie's into Christmas, go full Christmas, dude. Why not?
Here's the thing.
He's never steered me wrong on dad stuff.
They'll be
Now I've
doing-
gotten a lot of the stuff you told me to do wrong just because I didn't listen to you. That's admittedly we've been through a lot of those.
Sure.
But
You guys will be doing this when Maisie's 28. You know,
Probably.
you know,
But she's like her mom. They love it, dude. They love it.
Yeah.
Like Andrea's all in. I mean, Andrea's had she's like we're already through. She can blow right through Pumpkin Month. That's fine. I mean, she likes that. But
We
if
should just change the name of October to that.
Pumpkin Month.
Pumpkin Month.
I'd be
yeah.
okay with it. Chat room checking in. We got. When we went to Lou Gardens, I told my kid that the fairy tree houses, that fairies weren't real. And he was like, what about the tooth fairy? And what about Santa Claus? Oops. Okay, so we have that.
Yeah.
We took family photos this weekend at Stetson, so it's officially Christmas for us. Christmas music 24/7 now. Trees this weekend. So there it is. We got some other people that...
You know, listen.
Dude.
At the end of the day, do
It's
what
to
you
each
want.
his own. Yeah. I got you.
You know, but
It's a little early. I will look. It wasn't. I got outvoted. They wanted to do it. I said what I said. They were like, we want to take all the Halloween down and put up Christmas. And I said, guys, I really want to watch Atlanta play the Cowboys. I'll help you after that. So they're like, okay, we'll wait. All I had to do is get down some stuff. They're like, we'll take care of everything else. I'm like, all right, I'll help you a little bit.
listen, I'm just
Not my
doing the
thing.
same thing I would do if I saw a buddy pouring rum in his coffee at 6 a.m. Listen, you do what you want, but are you sure you want to do that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were going to ask for something.
No. I was like, this is going to be a problem one day.
Decoration wise, okay, you got to take the Halloween stuff down. Why not like make it all in one? What I'm concerned about is the music. 2 solid months of Bing, it might be excessive. Like
She really does vary it. We do a lot of instrumental.
okay,
She loves instrumental Christmas music, and then she'll kind of just sing the words to it. There are some songs that are absolutely outlawed in the house. One of them being, and I don't even know how this happened, but Andrea and Maisie told me that the one Christmas song that's never allowed in the house is Madonna's Santa Baby.
okay.
Have you ever heard that?
No, but is it kind of like spicy? I guess maybe.
Oh, this horny Madonna. Getting, I remember.
Tom loves horny Madonna.
I thought
Didn't you go as horny Madonna for Halloween?
I thought Marilyn Monroe did it, but maybe I'm just thinking of that Happy Birthday to JFK.
She did a similar.
No, there was a.
All right,
there was a
here's
Marilyn version.
Madonna's Santa Baby. Oh yeah, it's gonna be one of these little jazzy little things, right? Chat room saying this is horrible.
Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me.
Oh, she talked like a baby.
Being an awful good girl.
Why is she talking like a baby?
Is this as her character in Dick Tracy?
Okay.
'Cause she kinda talked-
What was her name? Breathless Mahoney.
'Cause she kinda, like, did that-
Man, Breathless Mahoney.
She kind of did that, like you know.
Baby. Back in the day, if you wore a fedora, you wanted all your women to talk to you like little babies.
I like when veiny, horny, 58-year-old MILFs talk like a baby. Stop talking like that, lady. You're older than I am. Anyway.
I'd also like to bring up the fact that I said on Madonna's Instagram, "What's up, fudge ass?" and she gave me a heart.
So So I was telling Daniel about this, and he had an experience with a European family that did this same thing. So, and I want to get your opinion on it, Ross. So I was watching football last night, and I'm watching the Minnesota Vikings game against the Colts.
Daddy, carry me from the couch to the bed.
and I'm watching.
That's Tiny Tim. Oh my God, you guys could do that.
What? With
Tiny Tim, he was carried everywhere he went by his father. Oh my God, you could do that.
That'll make your son strong. That'll make him real strong.
I see it more as like a master blaster from
Okay, yeah.
So at the beginning of this Minnesota game, they're showing like all the Minnesota fans. And like Minnesota's a huge NFL market because not much to do up there, cold.
Yeah.
A lot of real men and women doing hard labor in Minnesota.
Yeah.
They got all the cow horns lying around anyway. Why not just put on my hat? You know.
And doesn't their owner like like whenever you look around and see it, it looks like they're having the time of their life. It looks amazing.
I mean, they started off good this year. They're excited fan base, but I think Minnesota's a huge market for the NFL anyway. But the stadium was ridiculous. The atmosphere inside. They do this like they blow some big ass horn at the beginning. They bring up some local celebrity. I forgot who it was, or maybe it was like a smaller national celebrity.
The horn is right under the pirate ship. Pirate ship wins. Horn is still pretty cool.
And the atmosphere was ridiculous. And as I'm watching this, I was thinking to myself, it'd be cool, like just to plan a weekend trip. And I was working out the name with Daniel. I was like, do I call it like imposter vacation or like you're doing someone else's once in a lifetime
fan a day?
And I was
fan
like,
for a fan.
You dress your entire family. Like I'd bring my family. We'd all go in full Minnesota Vikings gear. Like I'm not a Minnesota Vikings fan, but and then you buy the tickets on like the 50-yard line. Like good tickets. You spend some money, but then you just go and experience.
But you get it all. Like you get the tailgate with whatever with the main. Oh, that you go over and the
you buy the tailgate.
His truck looks like a Viking ship, and you're eating a hot dog with him, and you get your picture made with him, and you got the sword,
and you just pretend you're a huge Minnesota Vikings
and then
fan.
They take you up to the corridor and you blow the big horn, and then you get to like chop the axe or whatever, or put the Viking helmet on.
Well, you just do what these fans have been doing for their lifetime.
Maybe you get to go to the main pub. Maybe they have a pub that they all meet at, and you get to go there and try the signature drink, which is called Valhalla's Revenge.
I got your name whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah, you do what like these fans have been doing their entire life and passed down to their generations of kids.
Is this all sports? Like not to throw a mix in it, but like follow me if I could do that and go to like Wrigley Field for a baseball game. I mean, there's a lot of history there, dude.
If you go to England, you got to do the accent.
Yeah,
I'm trying to sneak into a soccer game. You got to do the accent.
Yeah. I'm fine with appropriation, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Sure.
But if you want to pretend to be whoever you want to be, I'm fine with it.
We'll even let you buy makeup if you want to go that direction. But I'm not going to put it on.
To each his own.
Yeah, you can
like
go in
Christmas.
You can go in one of the bathroom stalls and take a shot at it. But I'm not helping.
Start whenever you want. Anyway, but I did think, I was like, that would be a super fun experience that only usually people that have been a fan their whole life would probably experience. You know what I'm saying? And then you could just you buy into it. You spend the money on the gear and the tickets and all this stuff, but and then you'll come out with a micro experience of what they have done and continue to do, and it looks awesome, and then you get to have that little micro awesome experience.
I mean, we've had it's not the same thing, but like I'm thinking of like the greatest sporting events you and I've been to, the most exciting, like that Orlando City championship game we were a part of. That energy, that's what you're trying to sell, right? Is that energy of the day.
But like imagine you're from Pennsylvania, right? And you've just come to Orlando and you want to be part of the wall section, like that big supporter section.
Yeah.
You got to put on the Orlando City gear. You got to like sneak in and pretend you know the chants and stuff. Infiltration.
Okay, all right.
Infiltration.
Yeah.
I like
it's not that hard.
Is good.
Because you deck yourself out and you just pretend to be that fan, and it's not that hard to do. And people just accept you. And
how about fakeation?
But here's what makes the show is that they've all been informed you're in there. And if they can catch you, they win $1 million. So if you if you're
like
in
the mole,
if you're in
I'm Anderson Cooper.
Like you've snuck into Dodger Stadium and you like go, hey, I'll take a hot dog, and some guy's like, they're called Dodger dogs around here, bud. Give me my $1 million.
What kind of hot dog do you want? I'll take a Lasorda. That's the right answer. You got off clean this time.
Get him!
Yes.
I love a good get him.
Yeah.
So
And then you have to, in the stadium, you have to fast stab him 18 times and kill him. You have to kill them.
Daniel's explaining that he saw some European family do this exact same thing.
At the Magic game last weekend.
Okay.
Andrea and I were there, and this dude was, Andrea will back me up. This guy's, and they're from Scotland. I said Ireland, but she corrected me. They're from Scotland. They come to Orlando. They love Orlando. This is like their third or fourth time there, but they like going to bigger North American cities, and they'll pick, like if they go to Chicago, they'll show up, boom, all Bulls gear, badass seats. You eat the hot dog with a pickle in it. You do all the things that you're supposed to do at the Chicago place. When you're in Orlando, you got the Polo jersey, your Polo, Franz Wagner. You're yelling everywhere you go. And he's like, I'm up to, and Andrea might know the number. I think he was up to 13 NBA jerseys from different NBA cities.
You just get a slice of it because it's
he goes
weird.
And on the kids, and it is got. I mean, now again, they're European, so the math is different. But this dude's dropping, bank jerseys, hats, all the food.
But culturally, we've always been taught like not to be posers or like you can't just pick a team and then that you have to be a lifelong. Like your father had to have lived in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Like we look down
missing
upon
out on a lot of fun.
Yeah. When it's like, why not just put on the team jersey, have a good time with your family, just pretend to be, and why not just root for that team at that sporting event? But for whatever reason, our culture in the United States is like, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm going to sit here miserable and never experience any other team. If I put on a New England jersey, I'll be, my granddaddy would punch me in my face.
You're also believing in things that's not real. Like, I'll be haunted by his ghost forever. It's like, that's not real. Just go and have a good time.
And you can do it with bands too, like bands that you don't even like. Say, okay,
Jimmy Buffett is a great example of
Jimmy Buffett.
He's the example. And look, I crap on Jimmy Buffett all the time, but I crap on everything. But if you want to have a good time, you put on the grass skirt, you grab the margarita, you put on the dumb hat, and you go there and you sing "Fins to the left, Fins to the right," and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Just flip over to 104.1 HD3 the Pirate. Yeah, and you're good to go.
That's the second. If you get 3 of those, then you become the afternoon guy, right, on the Pirate.
Did you hear they just renamed? It was an A1A Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway.
Oh, really?
They named a huge highway in Florida. I think was it A1A?
Yeah, I think it was A1A. I was just driving and I saw the signs. I blew out a flip flop though.
Which is why not just call it Buffett Highway? Because it's now on Google it says Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway.
It's too long.
It's too long.
You could call it like you go to Cheeseburger Road. Just call it Cheeseburger Road.
Do you think it was a waste of public money putting in that artificial volcano?
I don't think any artificial volcano is a waste of money. That'd be the second one we have in Florida.
I do love the one down at Margaritaville.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
When I would go in there, that was low key how I would get foreplay for boys. You walk in there and because I knew the patterns of what would happen. And I'd hear the thunder at Margaritaville, and the date I'd have with me, I'd elbow her, I'd be like, look as though pretty soon we'll be in Margaritaville. Because I knew I heard the thunder. I give you like 3 or 4 like small auxiliary thunders before he comes up on the screen and he does the, hey, we're here. We done made it. We're in Margaritaville.
Have you a cheeseburger in paradise?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Before we're going to take a break, but before that, can you show Ross the elephant charging video? Because I want him to watch this. And,
who issued an elephant a credit card?
So I saw this random reel pop up on my Facebook feed, and it's like 2 men in India get chased by an elephant, right? And so you know how,
which has to be. I would imagine there's a lot of those on the Indian web. Right? Like I would imagine that's like number 5 or 6.
Probably like elephant mishaps is like one of the number 1 hashtags.
Yeah, it's got to be
one
of the number 1.
Although rare, and I haven't seen many elephants like charge. Every once in a while,
well, many elephants don't charge. They're a lot more docile.
Well, like you see the elephants on a safari. Sometimes they'll like charge the truck or whatever. But this one,
What I usually see is like a domestic, quote unquote, domesticated elephant who has just finally decided he's had enough.
Oh, the circus elephant.
The elephant that like gives you the old tusk,
the falling
old
down
tusking,
elephant,
or a stomping, like an elephant who's had like one whip too many and is like, you know what, I'm stomping you out, buddy.
And then the local authorities have to blast it with a shotgun in the streets of a small town.
Sad.
And yeah.
That's what my dad used. That's what my dad used to do in DeLand.
Shoot elephants?
Well, he was in charge of it on the volunteer fire department. If one elephant got out, it was my dad's, because they had a lot of circuses outside of DeLand, right there near Skydive DeLand. The circus was always there.
Yeah.
Dan Lee, get my elephant gun.
And because my dad was on the volunteer fire department, his only job was if an elephant got loose, he had to use his Jeffries and blow its head off. It was a 6'4" Jeffries.
So this particular video, it shows this elephant running down after two men, and then there's a car driving next to him. So when you first see the video, I'm like, oh, this is from some movie or something. This is from some Indian movie.
Operation Dumbo Drum, right? Great film. Smokey and the Bandit 2, maybe the Citizen Kane of elephant transport movies.
So watch this, Ross. If you see it up on the screen. So hold on. Before the guy falls down there.
Okay, you want to go back a little bit?
Yeah. Go start from the beginning.
I like that they completed it by also putting the best of royalty-free jungle music.
But you're right. It does look like a CGI like race or something. Or if you punch into a computer, car, two Indian guys, elephant racing.
I'd also like to point out that is the car for action. That is a Subaru.
Oh yeah,
Sport Subaru. Mike Stacks, if you're looking for a new vehicle.
It doesn't look like somewhere an elephant should be.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's also in the middle. You pick a lane, elephant. You can't you got to pick one. You can't just ride the line.
So there's like a red Subaru and then two Indian guys running for their lives in an elephant.
Oh, it's a Hyundai. Hyundai.
But elephant running out after them and now hit play again. So and then the guy falls. And then watch this.
Well, it starts over. Here's where he falls.
So he's running. So I'm like, this is fake. This is some sort of movie or whatever.
It does look sort of fake. The Indian man, did you notice he runs out of his sandals?
Yeah.
And he's also carrying a very fashionable, like a Gucci man bag.
Yeah, so
he's got a cross-shoulder Gucci man bag.
So I thought this was a classic. Someone's filming from their phone a movie that's being filmed.
Yeah.
Because
like you and Andy doing Drunky the Bear back in the day.
Well, these have like circulated the internet with like they're filming a movie scene and some like extra is filming the scene with their phone.
Yeah.
And then it looks real because it's a movie.
Right.
But then it's like, oh, look what's happening here. And so I thought this was this until the guy falls down and the elephant comes inches from stomping him flat. And then I'm like, oh!
He does that move where the elephant kind of smacks his face with his trunk, like, you all right, bro? And then he like kind of, here, watch.
Okay, watch.
The guy falls,
and then I
boom,
get a question.
And then the elephant comes over and he kind of does,
barely misses him. And then he crawls into the woods.
The elephant also does that move where he's turning around, and I'm like, that elephant gonna sit on you. Like, didn't he look like he was gonna do that? You know that move where an elephant will just turn around and just like sit right on you.
The elephant did what I do to my wife sometimes, which is like I'll back up to her and I'll give her just like a little light butt tap just to let her know like I could knock you over if I wanted to, but like I'm just choosing to tap you.
Yeah. So anyway, my question to you, Ross, what the hell is this? Like, where, how? What? Also, the guys ran for so long. Why didn't they run into the woods, which is safer than just running straight?
Hop in that car.
Why
wouldn't you hop in that car?
Or go to the other side of the car.
Yeah,
so the elephant, right? You just go to the other side of the car. That way you have a car between you and the elephant.
I think all those questions can be answered by like, you don't think straight when you're being chased by an elephant. You know?
And then is there, like, I'm so confused by this. Is there any way to find the answer to this?
No, we've already moved on.
yeah. I'm sure
you ever feel helpless
probably.
in that? Do you ever feel like, do you ever watch videos on the internet and you look at it and you're like, and you're like, I'm connected to this. There's something here that I need to find out
this happen?
more about it. And you're like, I can't because we're so connected, we're disconnected.
10% of the time the answer's in the comments. 90% of the time it's just a horror show.
Yeah.
And then
that is why I enjoy Reddit, because they will blast the number one comment. Will normally be like, these two guys were in that red car and they wanted to be chased by this elephant, and this was all a set, and then somebody will explain it.
It's usually like, this is a Reddit post from 8 years ago that's been recycled.
That's
this
another
is what
thing.
happened then.
It's another thing is a lot of these videos. Okay, the vast majority of everything that I see, when I bring it up to somebody else, the person is going to tell me it's old every time. Jimmy did it. Jimmy brought up. I was going to bring up on this show the two British rappers, Pete and Bass. Then Jimmy brought it up on his show, and they all called him old. And Jim Colbert, and I'm like, well, I better not bring that up because Jimmy got called old for doing it. It's like I can't keep up.
Well, there's infinite
it's too fast.
Amount of things, and then there's no way to know all the little sub things going on that are popular.
No,
it's ridiculous.
It is.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
When we come back, I know
you guys don't mind if I listen to HD3 the Pirate while we do?
That even listen.
I listen to the Pirate during the breaks too.
So when we come
what
back,
I like about it is that they have like a ton of songs that sound like Jimmy Buffett songs, but they never play a Jimmy Buffett song. It's like there's so much faux Jimmy Buffett out there.
It's like we're giving you the essence of Jimmy, but never Jimmy.
Right. It is like that medicinal thing where they just dip the lime in the water and you're supposed to drink the essence of it.
It's just like LaCroix. It's just essence. There's nothing in there.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
We've got a special guest in studio. I've seen a lot of different BDMs. They see another guy with a similar name. And they always
get confused. They get confused.
I think that's been popped up, or they've been popping up on people's algorithms because of this.
It absolutely has. You're right.
Because I've never, before this, I'd never seen that other person on my algorithm.
Inundated with Christian savings tips. I am inundated with them. Seriously, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Saving your money, one note at a time. That's Ram Davesy.
Ram Davesy Financial Minute brought to you by Tots with Ross, the Orlando talk show with Ross McCoy.
You can go and listen to, if you're looking for more podcasts, you can go and support our good friend Ross.
How you doing, Ram?
Who are you going to take advice from, Tom? Some guy named Dave or a guy named Ram? What's a more powerful name? Just ask yourself that.
That is true. Yeah.
Dave is an ordinary name. Ram is unique and strong.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Does Dave broadcast with a sword cane in his lap? I don't reckon so.
Oh, he upgraded. Yeah, it started as a regular cane. Now, you know what's funny is that this bit got infinitely funnier now that the guest carries a weapon.
That is a nice sword cane.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Ram. So I guess the sword cane, is that considered money?
It's got a golden eagle on top of it, doesn't it?
It does.
I dare you to say it's not money, Tom. Go ahead. Why don't you?
9 out of 10 things with a golden eagle on them are money.
Why don't you go ahead and say it's not and see how it goes?
So, Ram, where do you want to start today?
I wanted to, as always, Tom, we need to get back to basics with you. And you brought up the other guy. You brought up that other guy that tries to teach finances to people and fails miserably, in my opinion. But one of the things he often recommends to people, in addition to selling their car, great idea. Just sell your car, get a crappy car. That's his advice very often. He also recommends.
You're freaking me out because that's the one I got this morning. That is the one I got this morning. Is that you should just buy a piece. This guy says that nobody cares what you drive. Have you seen that at the end of it? He goes, nobody cares what you're driving around in. I've never heard something more foolish in my life.
9 out of 10 times, this other quote unquote financial advisor, you will call up and give him your financial woes, and he will tell you sell your car and buy a worse car. Great advice.
Yeah.
Great advice. But another thing he recommends is eating rice and beans until you're back on your budget. You eat rice and beans, eat rice and beans, eat rice and beans. No, wrong. That's the wrong way to think, Tom.
All right.
Rice and beans is poor food. You eat poor food, you stay poor.
All right.
What am I recommending to you, Tom? Eat steak every day.
Yeah.
Steak
every day.
All right.
Should I have made that? Because I like that. I'm going to make that for you.
So,
Eat steak. Hold on. I can do better. Eat steak every day.
Now, Ram, I don't want.
I used to sell weed to Nate Dogg.
Yeah. Oh, man. Steak. I want a steak so bad right now.
I don't want to be a contrarian here, Ram. But
What's that, a type of steak? What cut is that? What cut is that, man?
I'm just going to ask the question that maybe a lot of our audience would ask, which, what if I can't afford steak every day?
I'm glad you asked that.
Like, isn't that, and if I can't
was
afford
thinking
it,
that. I was thinking
then
that.
I would spend all my money,
Yeah.
and that would make me poor.
No, I understand. It's a simple fix. You just need to make enough money to buy a steak every day.
Okay,
yes.
okay, all right.
Yes, I knew there was an answer.
Maybe this comes from your misconceptions about budgeting, Tom. Do you have a budget? Do you budget? A budget, I'll put it to you in simple terms, a budget is a plan to spend all your money.
All right.
That's what I tell Andrea. My
right.
God, you're speaking my language today. It's like you crawled in my head.
If you have any money left over at the end of the day, you're not doing things right.
That's what I tell Andrea.
Well, it's like a company. They have to. If there's money left over, they have to spend it, or they're not going to get it next year.
I mean, honestly, this is what I tell my wife because I'm like, Maisie's fine. She's got to make her own money. We don't need to save anything for her. She's already got a job. Mondays are her job. She works at the dance studio.
There's a financial documentary I'm going to recommend to you to walk you through a lot of basics of this. It's called Brewster's Millions, and it's a very simple.
Oh, I have that.
Financial plan that you can follow. And steak is going to help you. Eat steak every single day, grilled if possible. If you can't grill your steak, you can fry it. That's fine.
Okay.
But you
but
definitely
you prefer a grilled?
Yeah. If you're not burning wood to cook your meat, you're failing at life.
What about
right,
do
all right.
sides matter, or is that just a distraction?
I mean, you can have another steak if you want.
Okay.
Steak for the main
Steak with a side of steak.
Okay, all right. So steak every day
With a side of steak.
Now, are you worried about health issues?
issues.
Cholesterol.
In terms of
I mean, you do walk with a cane. I'd like to point that out.
Yeah. Although I see these influencers, these rich white dudes, they're like, I eat steak every day, and I'm rich and ripped.
That's Dr. Steak.
yeah.
Rich, ripped, and rare.
Yeah,
Have you
okay.
seen that? Rich, ripped, and rare?
Yeah. And so
That's Wes Watson. He's a nut.
and then he says he could eat just
Steak every
steak
day.
every day and just be ripped and rich.
Oh, do you eat the steak and you take your steroid injections to clear you out, and
Yes.
you're good to go? You
Yes.
are good to go.
Yeah.
And then that's some millionaire advice for you, Tom. You're probably not ready for it, but I'm going to upgrade you to billionaire, give you some billionaire advice. If steak is good, if eating a nice grass-fed mammal is good, what's even better than steak? Eating an apex predator.
Okay.
Oh.
When you get to the point, Tom, when you can order you a tiger steak at night and have that
Tiger
for dinner,
steak.
Now
we're talking.
Where's that cut from?
so again, I
A
don't
tiger, Dan.
No. I mean, what part of, would you want to eat his legs?
his ass.
You'd eat the tiger's ass, right? His anus.
No. It was his cheeks, though.
I don't want to eat
Or
the
glutes.
cheeks. Too muscly.
The rump.
I've heard anything that's too muscly, you got to drain it and get all the. It gets bitter.
Now
You want to get for that. You want to get it from. You want to find a tiger with a real loose anus
no.
and get just slice of that.
A lot of people will waste that tail. It makes a good chili in my experience.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
Ram,
the marbling.
Again, I'm just gonna say what some listeners might say. I don't necessarily think
They're
this,
on
but-
board. A lot of the chat rooms are on board. In fact, this is a little weird, and I'm going to point this out. It's weird when our listeners are like, "Well, this is very early on in the Ram tape series. They're already months ahead of us in your teaching. So these are some very basic stuff."
But let's let Tom present the side of idiocy.
Okay, so what about the people who would say that Ram that first of all is illegal in most countries, especially
What,
the
to eat a
United,
tiger steak? That's not
yeah,
true.
the United
That's
States,
not true.
endangered.
We're Americans. We can do anything we want.
Animal meat is illegal.
That's not true.
It is.
You can eat anything you want.
No, not endangered. You can't eat a bald eagle. You can't eat,
you can't
tiger,
get hot.
elephant.
You mayn't. You can.
So, and
Hold
then
on. You bring up a good question, Tom. Let me do a little quick research. How many people incarcerated in America for eating tiger meat? It's one guy, Joe Exotic. If you're not him, don't worry about it. That's my advice to you.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I guess you're right.
I think you can do this, and it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There's not too many people in jail for messing with tigers.
I just looked it up. It's one guy. Yeah.
Also, everything you tell me I can't do, people around me are doing everything, and they're fine.
Yeah.
They're doing everything.
So steak every day, preferably
Tiger
exotic.
an apex predator if possible.
Apex predator. All right.
What's the lowest apex we can go? Because I do feel like tigers, really, that's going to be hard.
I like a good Wolverine roast. I will.
All right. A Wolverine roast. I think I would enjoy a Wolverine roast as well.
And you can make little knives out of his claws. It's
Yeah,
a
I
good
like
time.
that. I like that.
Have you? I've never met anybody who's eaten Wolverine before, but it sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome.
Like it sounds like a cool thing to eat, right?
Yeah, it does. But it also sounds like you got to hang it up and drain it before you eat it.
Yeah. Like,
Any of those animals, you got to cut them, and they're like, "What happened?" It's like, we can't eat it now. What happened? I nicked its poison sac. I nicked its sack, and it's all the meat's rancid now. What happened? It's all poisoned now. We gotta rinse it in the creek.
Like right before it dies, it releases its poison into every inch of its muscles
in order to kill you after the fact. I was like, that's pretty awesome.
I would like to make a Mystique joke at this point, but it's not in character. So.
Okay, that's fair. You can come and go as you please, sir.
All right. So, what's the next piece of advice, Ryan?
So, Tom, all of this, what are we talking about at the end of the day? We're talking about money. And getting money and acquiring money and spending money. And so a lot of you just, I don't know how to put this, can't come up with your own ways to make money. So Ram's just going to lay it out for you. All right. I'm going to help you out how to make money, get your own gold pile to sleep on, get your own tiger steak at night, get your own boat full of Michael Jackson's gold to ride around in. Like,
that's the one out of the three that sounds the most sinister. And it's really because of Michael. It's not you, it's Michael.
Well, I can't.
I know.
These atoms of gold were made in the hearts of exploding stars, and they ended up in the possession of a man who owned a theme park.
And I know it's not anybody's fault, but if Tom was like, I just bought Michael Jackson's nightstand, I'm like, that thing's seen some stuff.
So we don't have much time left, Tom. I'm going to just break it down for you real quick. How to make money, how to get rich, how to afford this Ram Davesy lifestyle. Gamble and don't lose.
No, all right.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
it's so simple. It's been in front of our face the entire time.
People are like, I tried gambling, but I lost all my money. Okay, well, the mistake you made was when you lost.
So, okay, all right. So
boom, write that down.
So what you're saying is,
I would like everybody to write that down, and let's throw a little highlighter on top of that. Okay.
Yeah. So what you're saying is,
investing, it takes too long. Saving, what are you going to spend it when you're dead? No. Gambling is the only way to make quick money right away, and the only way to make sure you make money at gambling is to not lose. It's so simple.
So what you're saying is, when you see that Derek Carr's coming back against the Carolina Panthers, who just traded away their best wide receiver, and that tells me that they're going to be tanking the rest of the year because they're done with Bryce Young and they want to draft another quarterback.
Correct.
That you should bet 10 times what you normally would on the Saints because there's no way that's going to lose.
Sure.
And then you lose. You're saying don't do that. Correct. You're saying bet on the Panthers that looks like the worst bet in the entire world, but that's a winning bet.
Absolutely should have done the opposite because you would have won.
Yeah.
Is this making sense to you, Tom?
Have you ever done the opposite?
There was a while where I was like, whoever you want.
It was working, wasn't it? And it was driving you crazy.
Yeah, I was George Costanza. I was like, whoever you guaranteed you're going to win, bet the opposite. George Costanza. I'm like, that should be because every time I'm for sure, I lose.
You didn't text me that you were loading up the Saints, huh? Loading them up?
Every time everybody's like, oh, this team, what are they? I mean, Carr.
No, I understand.
It
makes sense. No, I get what you're saying. It makes sense.
But you don't understand, Tom. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle applies to your gambling. The decision isn't made until you decide the decision.
Okay, all right, yeah. So it's not going to work.
If you pick all losers, for example, the loser won't even be determined until you make your pick. Does that make sense, Tom?
It does.
It does make sense.
If you do a double slit study, the pick always goes through the right-hand hole unless you observe the left-hand hole. It makes perfect sense.
Because I got
a little physics there on you, and it might be too much for you.
No, I'm with it.
I've done this before where I am like, okay, bet the opposite of what I want to bet because that's what's going to win.
Sure.
And then I go to bet the opposite. I'm like, that's what myself wants me to think.
Oh, so you do the double opposite. You do the double opposite, which becomes the positive. Yeah.
And then I'm like,
he does the double opposite positive.
And then I'm like, I'm going back to the original because I was about to hit intern.
I was about to do the opposite of what I normally would do, which would be the correct one. But that's what myself wants me to do. Do you say that's what myself wants me to do?
Yeah. And then I'm like,
do you say it audible, though? Do you say, that's what myself wants me to do?
And then Crystal's like, who are you talking to?
And you're like, no one. And then you...
She's like, spend time with your family.
He's out the pool shed talking to himself.
That implies the existence of at least 3 Toms inside your head. There's the myself.
How many Toms are
There's
there?
the me who's trying to trick him, and then there's the observer.
Hold on, I'm unlocking a memory ramp. Didn't Roseanne Barr have multiple personalities?
At
Oh,
one
yeah,
point,
crazy
yes,
as
she
hell.
did,
At one point she did.
I believe she even wrote a book to that effect.
Oh,
yes.
really? I gotta go find that, reread that.
I introduced her to Tom Arnold.
Did you really? Wow, man. You're like the Forrest Gump. You're just going through time, making things. Hold on. This is awesome. Ram Daisy just goes through time, connecting different luminaries of the time together.
It
I
happens
love
when
it.
you're in the stratosphere like me. It
Can I
happens.
request that you weave that in a bit more?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Not that I want to make it more stressful than it already is.
Well, just a recap before you leave, Ram. Eat steak every day, preferably a rare, exotic, predatory animal steak like a tiger.
It doesn't have to be rare, Tom. It does. The rare ones do taste better, but it doesn't have to be rare.
Okay.
And the number one way to make that money is to gamble and not lose.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Remember,
Win every time.
When you gamble, don't lose.
That's a pretty good advice.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Ram, thanks so much for coming in.
Man,
we appreciate
always a
it.
pleasure seeing you, buddy. Is there anything you'd like to plug before you get out of here?
No, I'm pretty rich right now. I'm good.
I love that. The ones that have nothing to plug are the best guests. Well, thank you so much, Ram. We appreciate your time.
All right, we will be back with more Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. Welcome back to Corporate Time. All right, we got another guest in studio.
Yeah, well, I mean, this
And-
is like, I've been seeing you hanging out with this guy, but
We've been asking for interns lately.
we only got 2 emails. If you would like to, send me your resume and why, because look, we can do whatever we want. You don't have to be enrolled in school. So just send me an email, show@tomandan.com.
We will give you any information
Yeah.
you want in exchange for some help.
Yeah, we do need some help. The time of paying people to work here is over.
We can pay a little bit, a little bit here and there.
Well, no, it has nothing to do with the payment. They just don't want to be here. And if you want to find out why people don't want to be here, be our intern. Show@tomandan.com.
And then you'll leave and you'll be like,
That's
oh,
why.
okay.
Yeah, I get it now.
A new intern here, Skippy the intern.
Hey!
Hi, Mr. Tom. Hi, Mr. Dan.
Hey, what's
Okay.
going on, Skippy? Well, I don't know much about Skippy. I know that you've been spending a lot of time
I know. I'm
with him.
sorry, Mr. Dan. I know I'm not supposed to be on the show, but Mr. Tom was really worried. He didn't book a guest, and he was very worried about just talking.
Yeah,
So
he
you brought
gets
me
like
in.
that. He does get like that.
Skippy,
If we're coming in hungover on a Monday, it's a little easier if we have some of our comedian buddies in here to help lessen the fall.
So, Skippy, are you doing this internship for school credit? Are you trying to learn how to be a radio guy?
I mean, you remember how we met, Mr. Tom. You were downtown, super drunk, staggering around in the street, and I'm a downtown UCF student. So you were right outside my dorm room kind of screaming at the sky, "Where's my car?" And I helped you find your car, and you told me that you would get me an internship on a real radio station.
Yeah, that's called the David Jolly.
The classic radio DJ drives drunk and gets a new intern. All right. that happens a lot, actually.
It's a little known fact that all male radio hosts in this town have driven drunk with a boy in their car. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's an unbroken
You can quote me on that. You can quote me
streak.
on that. They've all driven drunk with a boy in their car.
So Skippy, do you want to be in radio when you grow up?
I'm currently studying undecided downtown UCF.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it could be anything really.
Nice.
Okay. So now, without telling some of the listeners all the embarrassing things, because we're radio interns historically for years have washed the host's
You're
car.
going to do some heavy lifting.
Get the hosts their breakfast in the morning. Do
You
the
go
host
fill up-
dry cleaning.
The weirdest one is you have to go and get the host a big metal cup of water that they're not going to drink because they don't drink anything healthy. You'll go get their salad, you'll go get their water. They don't want that. They don't want that. Get their drugs and get their beer.
Mr. Tom, are you asking me to cross the line? You've always made it very clear. There's a line between your personal life and the radio. Do you want me to tell about the other side of the line?
No, have you been having this boy in your car, in your Mustang? You've been driving around town in your Mustang?
The floor is up to you, Skippy.
Yeah, you can take this as far as you want.
yeah. Where are we going?
By the way,
I'll follow you to hell, Skippy.
By the way, Skippy
Yes.
or Ross, if you're in there, you're gonna ask. This is Dan speaking.
Yes,
I
Mr.
go.
Dan.
I'll take it to the limit. I just want you to know, as far as you want to take it, I'll follow you to hell.
Well, I don't mind like following behind you and cleaning up your triathlon clothes and everything, Mr. Tom, like you have me do. I just think it's weird you won't let me do Crystal or the kids' laundry at the same time. Like when you scream at me, let Part Merrick get her an intern. I think that is
Yeah, it's a little resentment.
Well, you're my intern,
Yeah.
Skippy.
Also,
and-
to go along with this, it's almost like Skippy's been really in the studio. You ran last week and you stuffed a dirty shirt, sweaty, into the trash.
oh, yeah.
And then I come to the studio to clean out the refrigerator or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
there is a wet dog, stinky BO shirt. There's S flies everywhere.
about that
And
shirt.
there's a shirt. Am I lying?
yeah, well, I brought Crystal's tank top by accident.
He wore his wife's sports bra
No.
to jog. It was a sports bra you had. It's a Razorback sports bra.
No,
and then
I
he
thought it was
changed
my
into a
tank
shirt
top.
and he sweated all in it. And then he used his boots to kick it down into the. It was it smells like
Mr.
F.
Dan, I'm sorry. I should have taken care of that, but
You should have.
Mr. Tom was making me detail his car.
Yeah, yeah, I figured as much.
No, I had to wear it because I had to find a shirt in here, and the only thing was the Pet Rescue by Judy 5K big balloony XL. and then I running that, I was sweating my ass off. And then when I got back here, I was sweating everywhere, and then I stuffed it in the trash.
And it stunk.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tom. I would have got it done, but I was so hungry that day. You didn't let me finish your lunch salad like usual.
So Skippy, another intern duty that is not talked about in public.
Haha,
at
good one,
least,
Mr. Tom.
It-
I'm supposed to say that anytime he says duty, Mr. Dan.
Okay, I like that.
Is where you have to take the fall for me
Oh, yeah.
in any sort of like DUI incident or
anything.
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
Even anything in business. Like you were supposed to have that on the website. It was the intern.
Yeah. Where like the bosses get mad at me, and then like I tell them like, oh, Skippy told me he was gonna put that up or do that, sign that form.
And then you got to be like, "Ah."
Oh, like when Miss Crystal found your dresser drawer full of alligator jerky and I had to say it was mine?
Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah.
You had a whole sock drawer full of alligator jerky.
It was odd. I don't know where to go with it. Why would happen?
You know what? You're supposed to put your yes and hat on.
I did that.
He's been saying lately he needs to eat more carnivores, but that's the only thing he can afford in that price range.
Yeah, the protein's crazy. It's even trickling down to my house. Maisie bought the same protein drinks you have. And that's what she has in the morning with her breakfast.
Oh, the old man's
Yeah,
Premier,
Maisie for breakfast now has 5 eggs and an old man protein drink.
Premier Protein.
Yeah, Premier Protein. And then she gets on her Harley and drives to the plant, I guess.
Yeah, what else you got, Skippy?
Well, you know.
Can't read my writing, Mr. Tom.
I wrote this when I was high in my kitchen.
Oh yeah, I've got a list of stuff you've taught me, Mr. Tom.
Oh, stuff that you've taught, stuff that Mr. Tom has taught you, Skippy?
Oh, okay, what is it?
The first thing you taught me the first day, right away, you said, "This is super important, Skippy. Pay attention." You showed me how to draw stuff on that HR poster of the lady with the cast on her arm.
No, all right.
I used to do that. I used to write the most inappropriate stuff on her arm.
He showed me he on her cast he wrote, "You won't burn dinner again," and then he yelled at me for about 20 minutes about how he did that joke way before Matt Rife.
Oh, really? He does that joke?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah, okay. A variation of it.
He very cleverly crafts it into a black eye as opposed to a broken arm. Matt Rife
Gotcha.
does,
I gotcha.
But the burning dinner thing.
Sure.
This is what I just remembered this, Skippy. Anytime we go to like a Latitudes or a downtown bar, we're gonna obviously go together. You'll be driving me because I don't want to get a DUI.
You're not joking around. Skippy's driving us tomorrow to Baby Metal, apparently, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then I need you to go inside and go up to the DJ and let them know to announce
And
that
be like,
I'm going to
hey,
come
Dizzle
in.
Funk.
Yeah, you let them know
Mr.
like,
Tom's here.
that Tom Van from Real Radio 104.1, a corporate time with Tom and Dan
is here.
Yeah, and then
you have, but no pictures.
yeah.
He's here, but leave him alone.
And then while the DJ is confused, shaking, listening to you, like, okay, what? And then he's looking at his manager, like, is this a pay thing?
And they're just like, just do it. All these radio DJs are the same way.
Yeah.
Taco Bob was just in here.
And then I have to wait out the whole song before I hear the announcement. But I'm just right outside the front door, just waiting for you to announce me. So you're gonna have to do that. That's kind of awkward. Anytime we go into any sort of bar or restaurant.
I don't think people go into bars or restaurants anymore, right? Like, I don't think that's a thing.
And I've been having to bribe that guy out of my own pocket. I don't know if there's petty cash for that kind of thing, but
This is part of the internship responsibilities is actually paying for these type of things.
It kind of was that way back in the day. Not to break character, but you think back on it, it's that we would make our interns go places that were very expensive and expect them to, where is that guy? It's like $20 to get into some stupid strip club, and we'd expect them to pay their way in. Oh, my God.
Then the host would promise to pay you back, but he never
did. Never did.
I didn't mind giving away all those pizzas in the parking lot of the Crystals on Good Homes Road in Colonial, but you guys didn't even announce it or anything. Nobody,
that's the thing.
Nobody knew I was
Nobody
there or what I was doing.
So we can't announce it because we don't know what's going on. No one knows the structure of anything that's happening. So it's, everybody's just holding until something great happens, and it's not going to happen.
Hungry Howie's paid $8,000 for that promotion. All right, sorry, Skippy. We got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
So,
appreciate you being here, man.
Get back to washing my car.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, you really affected him there.
We'll be back tomorrow. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. With us on the line, singer-songwriter legend. He's going to be performing with Daryl Hall at Dr. Phillips, the Disney Theater in Dr. Phillips, November 7th.
The greatest venue that we have here in town, and you're going to get to see some pretty amazing musicians roll through in this amazing Walt Disney studio. And yeah, like Tom said, November 4th, you can see him. On the line with us right now via Zoom is Howard Jones. What's going on, Howard? How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. I'm very good.
Have you been to Florida many times? And congrats on being at the Dr. Phillips Center. It is an amazing venue.
Yeah, I've been to Florida many times. So done loads of shows there. My own shows. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back and having some nice weather.
Oh yeah. It's quite beautiful right now, and you're gonna really enjoy it.
Howard, I got a question for you. You've been performing and writing music for so long, 40 years, and I'm curious too, how often are you out in public and you hear your own music, like playing in like some place where you're like, oh, it's me?
It's funny. It's funny you should say that because it usually happens to me when I'm in supermarkets in the States, and the last time I was there, I think it was Whole Foods or something, and suddenly a new song came on, and a lady was pushing her trolley around, doing her shopping, and she started singing the song along with it, and I was like right behind her, and I thought, how should I react to this? Should I say, hey, that's me, that's me? I mean, that would be really creepy, I think. And of course, if you did say that, they just laugh at you and say, oh yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, it's also,
it would blow her mind,
It would blow her mind. And, I was checking out some of the new stuff that you've done. And then I went and I was deep diving on the Daryl's House stuff that you did and released. Yeah. And how do you keep your voice, being a pioneer in synth pop and doing this for as long as you have, how do you maintain your voice and keep it? You sound great. So I guess as a lifelong, I'm a musician myself, podcaster and radio guy. How do you maintain it and keep it up?
Well, I mean, it's a question of like singing every day, really. And I have a really amazing vocal coach who's an opera singer and a really good friend. And he's given me the most amazing exercises to do. So when I'm on the road, before I go on stage, I will do these exercises. And then when I'm at home, I try and sing every day. And my latest thing is on my exercise bike. I sing along with the set that I'm just about to perform.
Nice.
So that because it gets your cardio up as well. So yeah, I mean, as you get a bit older, you need to do these things. And when I was young, I never used to bother with any of that at all. But now, I really want to keep my voice in good shape and also, be fit. Yeah.
Well, you sound great, man. I mean, there's no question of that. It was really cool to see you perform, with the Daryl's House stuff too. Have you guys always known each other throughout the years? And congrats on the tour, but how did that kind of come together?
Yeah. Well, it's weird because you'd think as we were, having sort of, success at, MTV and stuff, around the same time, that we would have met at some point. But we were saying that we hadn't ever done that. And
no way.
It's been great to get to know Daryl. Actually, doing Daryl's House was such a blast. It was such good fun doing it. And also singing some of his songs as well, which I really enjoyed because it's very different stylistically to me. And then I've just come back from rehearsing with the band and Daryl, and had a really great time again. So he's lending me his band for this tour, which is really, really cool. Yeah.
Howard, I'm curious. I read somewhere that you've messed around and done some stuff with AI. And we've on this show, we've been, kind of messing around with AI ever since it started becoming more and more popular.
Well, I really wanted his opinion as a pioneer of synth pop, and nobody was doing beeps and boops more than this guy.
Yeah.
So I want to know your opinion of like AI now, because like you have seen almost every incarnation of electronic music and done it at the highest level. So is it exciting to you, or are you caution, or like do you have a caution kind of a vibe?
I think it's a two-edged sword, really. I was thinking, well, if I lost my voice for some reason, or I don't know, you never know what's going to happen. That I could have a kind of an AI version of my voice, so I could actually keep making records and it sounding reasonably like myself. And then there's the other side of it, which is people kind of ripping off artists and taking their voice and their sound. So but it's the same, isn't it, with any new technology? Some people are going to use it in a really creative way, and it will make amazing new sounds for us all, and we'll be very excited about it. At the same time, there'll be people who will be not quite so ethical about their use of it.
Right.
So we just have to make sure that it's hard enough, now for young artists to get going as it is, let alone having to compete with AI singers and stuff like that. So I just think we've got to be cautious, but also, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, for sure. Ross, question for Howard Jones.
Howard, let me ask you, like, you have songs that you wrote decades ago and that you've been performing for decades now. Have they all stayed exactly the same, or have they changed at all? And the reason I ask you this is I just saw Jewel live recently, and like she wrote, for example, "Who Will Save Your Soul," I guess in like 1994, and she's been playing it every day since. But like she never went back and listened to that first version, and she's just been playing it like how she wants to every day. And now it's a totally different song, and it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, well, I think about that a lot. One of my things has been like, playing the songs that people know, and but at the same time, giving them a bit of a facelift, if you know what I mean, to make it a bit more. If I was going to make that record today, this is what it would sound more like this. At the same time, not losing all the essential bits and the essential hooks that everyone knows and loves. And so that's been my thing. Somebody saw the shows we did, a couple of months ago, and they said that. That I'd managed to bring those songs into today's musical environment, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
And I'm really quite, sometimes we do remixes, sometimes we do totally different versions of the songs, and I think it's important to do it a bit because having played those songs thousands of times, it's got to be exciting for you as well.
Yeah.
To play them. They're all in the same key. I haven't dropped the keys. And what's interesting with the Daryl tour, obviously I'm playing with a completely live band with horns and percussion, and and so the songs are really coming out sounding, quite different, but which is what I love.
Yeah.
Because it's very exciting for me, and I hope my audience is kind of used to me, messing around with the classic songs. So I don't think they're going to be put off by it.
Yeah,
but I think it's important to keep moving forward with your work, and not just become a kind of museum piece.
Sure.
Of another era.
Well said.
Howard, I'm curious to one of your songs, "Things Can Only Get Better," was on Stranger Things. And when obviously they license that from you and you find out that they're going to air that, once it airs, and Stranger Things is such a gigantic global show.
I don't even know if we understand how big it is.
What does that, like, do you see the ramifications of that immediately? Does it all of a sudden you're
Does
like,
the
whoa,
song start charting
what
again,
happens after that happens?
Yeah, no, I definitely saw like the Kate Bush effect happen to Things Can Only Get Better.
Sure.
I mean, they used the whole song in it, which is amazing, and I was particularly keen to say yes to that because I love the show myself, and I can't wait for the next series. So with that it was absolutely no brainer, and I saw my streaming figures really just go through the roof on that song. So it was getting to a whole new audience. That's the exciting thing for people like myself.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too because you look cool, and I think people will look at you, and I got to pay you a compliment. It's like when you look at Howard Jones now, you still look kind of like a cool rock musician instead of as most rock musicians, they age. I think sometimes they take on their normal persona, and you still look cool. You still have leather jackets, and you look like punk rock meets what I mean? And I think that's important because I think that some of that stuff can be missed on people if they're not ready for it. And I feel like you're I don't know. I thought it was super cool that Billy was able to give us the opportunity to even chat with you today because it's crazy that you're still doing it at the highest level and coming to our town. That's amazing. Is there any song you won't play anymore? You're just I can't do it anymore.
No, there isn't. In fact, I think I've got a catalogue now of about 250 songs, and I'm, I keep, reflecting on some of them, and some of them it just depends on the like with the Darryl show, I'm doing a few songs that I don't ever do with my normal band and my electronic band. Things like I did a cover of IGY by Donald Fagen, who's one of my favorite artists, and so we're doing that with the band. And there's also a song called Lift Me Up, which I never do, and also the version of No One Is to Blame is like the record with Darryl's band, which I normally will just play it acoustically or do it with a few keyboards or something. But it's a chance to do things different, and so it's good.
That's
fun.
awesome. No One's to Blame is that's how I was introduced to you through my band. They asked me to sing that cover. And that was the first.
Oh, really?
That was the first song I
cool.
ever sang, and then I was like, "Man, this is amazing!" And then from that point, everything else kind of came together. Hey, we appreciate your time, and we're really glad you're coming to Dr. Phillips to play. One last question, Tom.
Well,
can I ask him?
Yeah.
I've never asked this of a professional musician. This is an argument me and my dumb friends have. We argue over the song that when it comes on that you it makes you the happiest right off the bat. And my friend Mickey makes a strong case for Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah,
and I'm a Bill Withers Lovely Day guy. When that's that song it starts, I'm just oh my God, it is gonna be a lovely day because I heard this song. Do you have a song like that, or what's the happiest song on earth to you, Howard?
Oh, wow, what a great question that is. There's
you know what? I'm happy with just that answer. I'll take that.
I have one. I got mine.
Okay, hold on. It's kind of a generic. What's your favorite song?
Oh, is it? Why don't you ask him if he's had a gig that went wrong, Tom, or if he's hurt his neck or something? You do it, Mr. Great Interviewer.
What's your favorite? What song makes you the happiest? Kind of a generic question.
I'm being interview critiqued by Tom Van. I'm sorry that you had to listen to that, Howard.
I think anything by Stevie Wonder. Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Okay.
The way that starts.
Oh.
Yeah. That's such a good track. Anything off Intervisions.
Yeah, obviously, as we've already talked about it, but things can only get better. That's the song. I know it's one of my songs.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
But from the fans' point of view, that's the song. I've heard people that they put that song on first thing every morning just to give them a boost for the day
and set the right tone.
And that's always what I've tried to do. Like to Get to Know You Well was it's about raising people's spirits and giving them a good feeling, so to get through the difficult times, because everyone has to go through stuff, and music can really help with that.
Did you write that? Did you? Was that written with the idea that it would be performed with horns or everything synthetic? Like, how was that? How did you even come up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I played the French horn when I was at school.
Nice.
I played piano since I was 7, but that was the one brass. I'm not even sure they can consider the French horn as a brass instrument, but so I've always had a connection with those kind of instruments. So
I love it.
And of course I could do it with samples in the studio, but we did get a live section in for that as well.
It's so iconic though. Like, you hear that and everybody goes, "Oh, I know exactly what time period," or yeah, it's awesome, man. Hey, Howard, one last question from Tom here.
Sure.
It better be a good one.
Howard, I'm curious to because this happens when someone's involved in something that is historic, but at the time you don't know is going to be historic. So then you don't get any memorabilia or any because you're just like, oh, this is.
Yeah. Well, he's just living his life at the time.
Like, for instance, you were at Live Aid, which is like an historic music event that everybody knows of.
Never happen again.
I'm curious and we talked about Stevie Wonder. You performed with Stevie Wonder, like you had these experiences, and I'm curious if you ever thought back then to take a piece of memorabilia to have for the future, or if it's just like, oh, I was there, never really, I have nothing to no memorabilia from it.
That's a really good question, because at the time we didn't have smartphones, so now if I meet somebody, I make sure I get a selfie with them and document the event, because there's so many I can keep for my own But what happened at Live Aid was amazing, because I met Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney, and Linda took a picture of me and Paul together. So she actually sent it to us. That's an absolute treasured possession of mine. And also, they were so kind. Jan, my wife, was pregnant at the time, and they sent a present for our firstborn, which was like really incredible. So I didn't actually think about taking a brochure or anything like that, but I just I've got that wonderful picture and all those incredible memories.
And you are kind of the favorite baby if you're the baby that got sent something by Paul McCartney, right?
Exactly.
Like, if I'm the baby that had my bassinet came from Paul McCartney, then I'm King Baby, and all the other kids.
Awesome.
Yeah,
right.
Howard, thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate it. We can't wait for you to be here in our city.
Again, Dr. Phillips, November 7th. Get your tickets now on the Dr. Phillips website. And Howard Jones and Daryl Hall is going to be there. Thank you so much, Howard.
Yeah, and if you ever get the chance to call in or be on the show again, we'd love to have you. Take care.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and it's been great talking with you. Great questions. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. We pride ourselves on our excellent questions.
Hold on, real quick. Which was better?
Which was better?
What, my memorabilia question or Ross's favorite song?
Yeah, you have to pick.
Did you ever take any junk with you, or discuss music to the perfection?
They're going to argue all day unless you pick one.
It's so hard to decide. They're all so good.
Oh, no, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. All right, man. We won't waste your time anymore. Be good. See ya. Right. That is Howard Jones, live from what it sounds. I pictured him in his study, sitting there, and he has some corgis walking around and stuff. Because I stereotype everybody when I'm just listening to them.
Hey, Howard, did you steal any Kleenex from Stevie Wonder?
All right. I see what you're saying there.
It is true, because you remember there's a Netflix documentary about I think, what is it called? Like the greatest grouping or come together of the most famous musicians of all time.
That's probably what it's called.
I don't know anything of what you're saying. Like, not to be on Ross's side, but what you're describing makes no sense.
In the 80s, they did We Are the World.
Are you on acid right now? What are you talking about?
There's a documentary about like super bands or something.
No, there's a documentary about remember.
You know what you just basically said to me? You were like,
all right.
Basically, there's a documentary on Netflix that's got everybody in it doing everything. That's what it sounded like he was
For
saying.
me, it sounded like there's a documentary on Netflix. Do you smell toast?
I think they did it in the late 80s or 90s, the We Are the World. Remember with like Michael Jackson? Hulk Hogan's there.
no, he wasn't.
I think there's like
I don't think Hulk Hogan.
There's like 150 of the most famous musicians of all time.
Hulk Hogan was at We Are the World?
Look up We Are the World Netflix documentary.
Chris Christopherson was there. He left because they wanted him to sing Ethiopian or something. Yeah.
There is.
I ain't singing no Ethiopian.
They're like Janet Jackson there. Young
Thug was there. young
There's Milli Vanilli. They can't even sing.
Milli Vanilli was there. Young Thug was there.
I think Joe Pesci was there.
Yeah.
No, you're trying to.
There was like A-list celebrities.
Joe Pesci and Hulk Hogan were at We Are the World.
Look up We Are the World Netflix documentary.
The greatest night in pop.
Yes, that's it.
That was.
Oh, I gotta watch.
You know what? You did basically say that in 85 words.
So anyway, my point
I don't
being,
see one picture of Hulk Hogan.
there were some like randos. Anyway, my point being is that if you were there, like as let's say
He was there.
a lower
Howard
list.
Jones was there.
Was he there?
No, Howard Jones had. I know he did a lot of this. Dude, he was such a big star, but he also had the greatest career you can have is the big star that like has. He could just put on like a hat and he's fine.
No, no, you'd never recognize him.
But his songs were huge, like mega hits.
Yeah.
I think in the first year of him being a star, I think from 84 to 85, he had 4 number ones in England. So he was already like a mega big deal.
It's just like you don't realize like certain events are going to be iconic in the future.
Yeah.
And you should take like something or have some piece of memorabilia from that event just in case it becomes iconic, right? As like an insurance policy because.
But doesn't that kind of like, okay, there is a cheesiness to it.
Just throw it in your
there is
spare
a cheesiness
bedroom.
to it, right? Like me and you. We do like, let's say our biggest event, which to me, I'm saying was our 9-year anniversary party. If I had taken like, let's say the set list from the band that played and took that and framed it, there is a weird cheesiness to predicting it will be your greatest.
But you don't show anybody until it becomes a legend, and then you could always throw it away. But you should always take it as an insurance policy because if like Howard Jones had some sort of like imagine.
All right, we have a huge controversy right now.
What?
Because I just asked ChatGPT.
Better question?
I asked Better Pizza. I asked ChatGPT, was Hulk Hogan at We Are the World? Because you're bothering me. The first answer is no, Hulk Hogan did not participate in the recording of We Are the World. The song was recorded in 1985 by an ensemble of famous musicians. Then the second response is yes, Hulk Hogan was at the recording of We Are the World. He was among several celebrities who were invited to participate in the chorus.
Right.
So which is it?
So
ChatGPT.
They have a list of the singers in order, but there also was like a big like bullpen of like Hulk Hogan and not Joe Pesci, but Joe Piscopo is who I'm thinking of.
Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, Joe Piscopo.
He was there in like
was on
fingerless
Saturday Night
gloves.
Live. He was on Saturday Night Live at the time because he was considered a comedian.
Yes.
Much like EJ is too.
If you asked me to like pick out Joe Piscopo from a lineup, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
All
could.
right.
I guarantee you, if I gave you 3 guys, you'll be like, that's Piscopo.
I don't even know what Piscopo was in.
It's a great word to say, though, Piscopo.
Or who he even was.
He was a comedian on Saturday Night Live, and I never found him funny. I never understood why he was there. He was kind of like a jockey douche guy.
He was like a
street
budget
like, hey,
Andrew
hey.
Dice Clay. I
Yes.
think he also wore like fingerless gloves, and he kind of like had hey, I got a personality to me, but like he never was like funny.
Okay. So
Kind of like Skippy the Intern.
He did like an Andrew Dice Clay type of bit.
Light, yeah,
All right.
yeah. And he was kind of famous for being jacked. He was like, for whatever reason, kind of jacked.
What if Hulk Hogan strikes me as the type of person who wasn't invited to We Are the World, but would stand outside the studio and be like, "Hey, brother, let me in there to get some hot publicity." Right?
Oh, in 85.
You're
Well,
right.
actually, well, he was gigantic in 85,
Yeah,
right?
he would have been huge.
Yeah. So, but that's why they made the documentary about it, because, like, you couldn't get this many A-list singers and celebrities in one room to do
Serious
anything.
question. Serious
What?
question. Michael Jackson, when he was wearing aviators, Captain Crunch
Yeah.
jacket. When he poops, you leave on the glasses in the jacket?
I don't think he poops. I think there's so much medicine.
Okay, all right.
You know, like, I think
All right,
yeah,
I knew
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
get the truth. I knew I'd get the truth.
I think that
I
there's
agree
some
with
sort
you.
of medical.
That's the correct answer.
You know, I don't
Michael
think
Jackson never pooped when he was wearing the Captain Crunch and the aviators.
He didn't eat that many calories.
No, because
Like,
it was garbage in, garbage out, but nothing was
Yeah.
going in.
He just achieved perfect stasis.
yeah,
like,
he was just
just
running
enough
off
calories to
like his
moonwalk.
whole body
Yeah.
was like a helium balloon.
yeah. He may have had some sort of sack. You know what I'm saying?
Poop sack.
He had a lot of
What do you put
weird
that? You put that
medical-
under your shoulder pads. You
Yeah.
put that under one of those things. You put those under your.
Oh, maybe that's what the codpiece was.
Could have been a poop.
poop sack codpiece.
Don't put it in the front. Don't put it in the front. Because if somebody else kabongs you there, it's going to be a mess.
Who was involved in We Are the World?
All right, I got the
Okay.
list
All
of
right.
singers in order of appearance, I guess. And I'm gonna go fast.
Can I just real quick before you go on? I'd like to give you both a compliment for your great question. Thank you.
All right.
We should do a question off
I
every
didn't have
time.
that. I didn't have that. He didn't say that to me.
And then-
He didn't say that to me. And I probably knew of him more than you did. I know at least you, Tom.
And I'm not trying to muddy the waters, but he did say great question to me first, and then probably felt obligated after that. But that's just
I felt obligation.
all right. So in order: Kenny Rogers, Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, Dionne Warwick, James Ingram, Kenny Loggins, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, Steve Perry, Al Jarreau, Daryl Hall, Diana Ross, Huey Lewis,
Oh, Daryl Hall was there.
Willie Nelson, Billy Joel, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Cyndi Lauper, Kim Carnes, Paul Simon. If only for the moment, girl, Anita Pointer, Bette Midler, Harry Belafonte.
Oh, wait. So then Howard Jones was not there.
Unless
the way,
he was
I-
in that bullpen.
I call my wife's breasts Cindy Floppers.
And then there was a bunch of bullpen actors and singers.
Hogan, get in there. Piscopo's horse's throat. Or throat his horse.
On a different list, I'm seeing Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, enough of you. Get out of here.
Sheila E. Yeah,
Get
there's
out of
some
here,
other
Ghost
people.
Job. We don't want you, Aykroyd.
And it says here, Al Jarreau was so drunk he couldn't hit the notes.
Oh, he couldn't? Does it really say that?
Yeah, it's just randomly on Google.
Wow. Al Jarreau.
Let's end with my famous or my
My
favorite.
let's end with my famous blueberry cobbler. Everybody get a spoon.
My favorite Dan Aykroyd, Ross McCoy.
That's why I was saying that. You didn't even get it?
So
I must have missed it. I was looking at it.
No,
here.
this is my favorite. This is the best thing you ever said that Dan Aykroyd did to you.
So Ross went to an appearance by Dan Aykroyd at a ABC Liquor promoting his Crystal Skull vodka.
Crystal Skull vodka.
I waited in line.
And we were at a time when because we are country bumpkins, we thought Crystal Skull vodka was ooh la la fancy. We also bought the first attorney that helped us when Real Radio was trying to shut our doors. We bought him a tiny bottle of Crystal Skull.
Yeah, they made the little ones.
Yeah,
too.
we got him a little one. We're
That's
like,
a-
we saved all our money for this. Thank you for helping us pro bono. You are doing it pro bono, right?
I wonder if he still has that sitting on his.
He probably left it at the restaurant. He
bookcase.
probably left it at Dexter's. He's like, I don't want this garbage.
So what happened, Ross?
We waited in line. Yeah, ABC and the line. It was like, they do a line through the store. It took like maybe 30, 45 minutes to make it through. Me and the kids,
Yeah.
who were super excited to see Dan Aykroyd. They,
Dan Aykroyd on the spectrum too, right?
I'm not sure.
I think he is.
I wouldn't bet against it.
Yeah, I think he is.
I may have showed them like Ghostbusters to get hyped up for it or something.
Hey
and,
guys, remember tomorrow we're going to the liquor store to meet Dan Aykroyd.
Why did you do this again? Because you wanted to meet Dan Aykroyd?
we I was on a different podcast called So Macau with
Okay.
my buddy Mickey and Jeff and
Yeah.
Jay, and so we kind of we thought we kind of all pitched in to get a bottle of Crystal Skull because it was cool at the time, and then also when I got up to the front of the line. He was doing the even way before COVID. He was doing the I will take a picture with you from behind the table. That one.
Oh yeah.
The Pauly Shore.
And so
I like that.
me and the kids did that, and then I pulled out a So Macau card, and I said, Mr. Aykroyd, if you ever doing anything you'd like to get the word out about, or if you just want to be interviewed by some like real fans of your work, this is a podcast I'm associated with here in Orlando, and just contact me anytime. We'd love to get you on the air. We'd be happy to accommodate you in any way possible. And he took the card and he was like, "Oh, thank you very much," and he handed it to a person behind him who took it and threw it in the trash.
In front of you, directly in the trash.
I'll give this to my card disposer, and he handed it to the person whose job was to just put it directly in the trash.
See, there's so many things I like about this story, but the main thing
Kids in a liquor store, number one, right off the bat. Dad takes kids to the liquor store.
Is
fantastic.
All like this, Dan Aykroyd's been famous for a long time,
Yeah.
and then his personal assistant, even if he was new to the job, like he's been around this at least. I'm gonna say 5 dozen times, right?
He gets 50 cards in appearance,
and you would think
they had a can right there. He didn't have to go looking for one; it was right there.
You would think that
while they were setting up, I bet you the assistant looked around and was like, guys, I need my card trash can."
Where's my human garbage trash can?
All he had to do was take it and then just put it in his pocket.
No.
And then he could dispose of it later.
No, you have cards in your pockets all the time.
You're so full of cards in your pockets.
Like he could have just put it onto the table. There's so many other things he could have done besides from throw it in the trash in front of you.
The fact that it was in front of you is so good. It's so good.
It would have been so easy to just put it aside in like a little area where I'm sure Dan Aykroyd's personal belongings were or whatever, then throw it away after the appearance.
It's like showing up for a blind date and your date looks at you and goes, "Ew."
Why?
It's so blatant.
It would have been.
It's like if your date had a guy with her to say "ooh" for her.
Yeah, that's a better example.
It would have been so easy not to throw it away in front of your face. It's almost like they did it on purpose. Like he gets off but throwing away the people's stuff.
You know what?
In front of the people.
As the person, I kind of appreciated it because it let me know, like, don't wait for Dan Aykroyd to call. Like, just, it's over.
Chat room weighing in with a counterpoint. The Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive says, counterpoint, maybe that wasn't a trash can, but a bin he stored all business cards in. It was the business card bin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
it was a round metal bin with a plastic liner. Yeah.
Don't forget to put a business card liner in there.
At the ABC liquor store with the banana peel.
Right.
Dan Aykroyd's banana peel.
See it?
Oh, they
did you react at all to them, or did you react at all?
No, they were way too young to notice something like that.
Fair,
they just were like, Ghostbuster Man, picture, we can go home now, yay!
Ice
so
cream.
Good.
Because weren't you going through a phase where you take them to the beach and get them ice cream?
This was like in prime, me doing stuff with the kids.
Super
days.
dad. You're a super dad.
I'm a housewife. So
me and Daniel are, let's say, 1/1000th of as famous as Dan Aykroyd, 1/1,000,000th or whatever you want to quantify it as.
Yeah, whatever.
But I've been handed some things throughout my career, like not that much, but like a couple dozen things.
I've never thrown it right in the trash. I'll never do that.
The idea
I'll never do that.
of taking it and then handing it to someone behind me.
I'd rather hurt myself.
And then that person behind me pulling up the trash can and putting it in front. I don't know. It just, I get great enjoyment out of that.
Yeah,
it's such an awesome move to do.
It's a great move, but I don't think you and I can do it.
No.
But he's just dealt with it on a scale that's unprecedented to any of us.
I think the whole thing was a reaction. Like, I think him handing
more
card
work to throw
intern throwing into trash,
Yeah.
they didn't know they did that. They've done that so many times. That's been done over 100 times. I think it was a reaction. It was like boop, boop, boop.
Sure.
But it's almost more work to do that in front of the person. You could just put it to the side and say thank you, and then just keep going, and you never need to do it.
I know.
But doing it is the ultimate power move.
Then you end up with like a huge pile of business cards, and I'm presuming like little clay sculptures of Ghostbuster figures and stuff, and it's just easier.
Well, do you think
throw
about that?
the hand
Do
out
you
of
think
it.
about that though? Because, like, for instance,
our
friend Mike B brought you that ghost pepper hot sauce that's still there.
Well, I took it. I
And
said
it's
thank
been
you.
sitting there. Is this still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, there it is. That is. How long has that been there, Ross?
No, he saw it when he came in, but that at least at the time I said thank you. He drove away.
We're
He
proving
thought
our point. We can't throw that away.
Yeah, but I could have. I guess I could have like hid this so he didn't see it when he came in. I thought it was funnier, but I still took it. I didn't throw it away in front of him. That's all.
No,
I'm
I don't
saying.
think we can.
No,
I don't think
it's
we
an
can do that.
impossibility.
No.
Anyway,
No, you throw it away behind his back like a gentleman.
Yeah.
we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.